Hi, I just want to shoot some video to explain a typical 230 volt well pump installation. This is a pressure switch that has a double pole, double throw switch, and all this thing does is sense the pressure in the well surge tank, and when the pressure is low enough, these contacts go in and connect the 230 volt well pump to 230 volts. One wire gets connected here and one here, and for this system it opens and shuts with pressure. And that's what's in mine. I just had to replace this for another reason, get a whole new system, and it's very timely because it's a good time for me to learn all about it and then add the high energy protection by adding another relay that I read on the internet. And I just want to go through simply what it is. I bought this relay online after reading an article about it from Rich Loomis, and this is the part number of what he recommended, and I bought that because it looked right to me too. It's a 30 amp 230 volt coil, and this is it. And I took it out of the box and kind of drew on it what the things do. And this is these two terminals are for the coil to make it go up and down, just like a telegraph, you might say. And then these are this is the common for the wires, and then this one is normally closed. This is connected to that means normally closed. And this one is when you energize it, it goes from open to closed, and that's what these contacts mean. It's double throw, double pole. So that's what this is, and basically this relay is going to go on this plate and in this box, and over where the well is, Rich's verbal instructions are to take the whatever you have, the conduit or the hose that's going to give the pump its power, you're going to put it over to this relay. Then you're going to let that hose come from here back to here, and then when this relay, whenever this comes on, it's going to turn that on, and it's just going to relay it over there. But when it's off, these two wires are going to go to ground, and that's all it's going to do. Is whenever your pump's not in use, the wires are grounded. If they're not, then a high energy spike can just go and jump across that little gap, and there's nothing stopping it from just going to the terminals of the all the way into the well windings and jumping across there to case ground. Whereas in this case, the idea is that it's got a place to go right to ground, so if it goes and jumps, it's just going to jump to ground. It doesn't prevent it, it just gives it a better place to go rather than straight through the windings of the hard to replace well motor. So that's all there is to it. I was able to, here's a circuit that Rich shipped to me, just sent me a picture, and this is for my typical system. And basically the modification is I'm adding this circuit right here in that spot right there. If you had a 110 one, there's another circuit, but it's all written out in words. I just want to see the circuit, and I'm pretty confident I can do it. And I actually found this box. I already had one. This is an old military box, and it had some scuffs on it. I don't want it to rust, so I just put some primer on there. But you'll have to buy a box. This is about $30 to $40 to $50 by the time you ship it, but it came in 2 days. This is $7 worth of hardware here, and so probably the box and the relay, it's still under $100. But the thing is, if you don't understand any of this stuff, don't do it yourself. Get an electrician to do it, but at least you can say this is what I want. And you don't forget you got to have wire. So I've got the same size wire is going to go in here. It's just a little extra circuit, but it's I'm just going to take my time and mount it real nice and label it and make sure it's watertight. And one thing I got to work out is how am I going to ground this, and I plan on putting a ground rod through the basement floor really deep and then running that in here to run to these two terminals. And I'll do that last. It's no use doing it now. I don't have everything I need for that, but this is a nice little project just to mount this on the plate today and get that ready and figure out where in the wall in the basement I'm going to mount this into the concrete. But I'm going to learn the best way to do a ground rod. I think there's some ways that aren't as effective as others, but anyway, this is just a little explanation of how I'm going to do it, and maybe that'll help someone reading Rich's article. They can look at this video and see what he's talking about. It's not too hard, but if you're not very comfortable doing 230 volt electricity stuff, don't do it, because it's around water and you got to know how to turn it off, and you don't want to mess with your well system either if you don't know how to do it for sure. And I got it where I can switch it back, so if it doesn't work, I could just move the cable back and put all it back like it is, and it'll be like it never happened. So there you go.